What do you think of the gameplay?
It's great. I love it. I love it. I am thinking about the game constantly.
Mm-hmm.
I am playing it whenever I can. I have worked from home a couple of days this week just to
Nice.
so that when I'm taking my lunch break or whatever it is, I can play. It's awesome. I love it. Some of the characters I think are some of the most interesting characters that I have played in a fighting game in a while.
Really?
Yeah, dude, Dictator to me is just total thumbs up.
Look, I have no problem with that character. In fact,
Yeah.
I really love the way that he turned out as well. But man, have you been seeing the crying about this character online?
Actually, no.
Look, I was watching the L.I. Joe Invitational, and whenever Moons got on there, everyone was just mad in the chat. They're like, this character, why is everything so... I saw some, like, top players getting mad at Bison.
Yeah.
Like, on Twitter. They're like, why does everything he do save? I block 7 moves, and he's in my face again, you know?
Not everything is safe, but okay. Some things are -4.
Dude, a lot of people are mad at that character. I mean, look, some people are angry in the chat right now. Look, I don't
He's top tier, I'll say that.
Dude,
I think so.
Like, seriously, like, the V, I think they should surround the V in Street Fighter V with a DA and an ID. Because Bison and Dhalsim are, like, ridiculous in this game. And it's, like, made for you.
I know. Yeah.
Street Fighter David, there you go.
I'm really happy with it. That character is really fun and really silly. You just get to be such a jerk. Watching Moons,
both of them?
Bison,
Bison,
that's true. Definitely both. You're right.
Uh-huh.
But it's cool too to see the different styles. Like I've seen Moons play, I've seen Tampa Bison play, and they're so much more controlled, and they're not constantly wilding out, which has been working great for them.
I watched you play against Vicious.
Yeah, how did that go?
Well,
there was purple stuff everywhere.
I mean, like, I saw purple stuff kind of. I wasn't looking at the screen too much. I just heard a lot of cackling.
Oh, yeah.
I heard a lot of cackling, so I
For
definitely heard a lot of giggles and cackling.
And not that much out of Jeremy,
and
right?
then, well, no, I heard stuff out of Jeremy that was always followed with, why not? Why not?
Yeah, well, you know why? I remember that. That was when I wake up forward dash through his crouching medium punch. And threw him.
Oh, man.
It was so
awesome.
good.
That's awesome. Yeah, seriously, though, I mean, look, I've always been in the back, and I've always said if Dhalsim is the kind of character that if he's really good, that he kind of ruins the game, that he makes it not as fun to play, etc., like that. This Dhalsim is, like, completely different.
For sure.
Like, I don't even feel that way about this, because he doesn't play keep away.
I mean,
he does,
yeah,
but then he hits you, and then he's in your face, right?
Right.
I was watching some Champ highlights. I was watching Arturo play against Sonic Fox earlier today. I've been watching a lot of Dhalsims, and this character... Remember when the trailer first came out, we're like, Dhalsim looks like a Rushdown character, but it's probably just the trailer. He's not gonna really... Dude, he's
legit. He's super
Dude,
legit.
Air Tiger Knee Yoga Flame is like the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
And Champ has the most...
The Gale.
He has the sickest meaty setups.
Oh, no.
Like when he does like forward throw, jab into slide, and hits you with the meaty.
I think he might have made that one. But I was going to say, basically 80% of all good sim tech is from SimSim. Way up in northern Norway.
Okay,
Like in the boonies of northern Norway. Not crap else to do. And he's basically making up all the good stuff.
Dude, this is why, and then this is a shameless plug for me here, this is why I really want everyone to start going to the Shoryuken.com forums again.
Yeah.
And start talking. Because you get these guys who are in Norway, who have nothing better. So the reason why all you Dhalsim players found it is because you have your own Shoryuken forum in some hidden away, corner of the social media sphere, right? If we can get that's how I came up with a lot of stuff for Cammy. In Street Fighter 4, that's how I learned how to play Cammy. We were all like, this character sucks, this character sucks. We saw Sanford Kelly. Okay, we get the character now. And then all of a sudden, we just all went from there and kept building it up. That is so missing these days, right? So, shameless plug, head to Shoryuken.com forums. I have the ability to approve. So basically, you have to apply to the forums, and you have to get approved because there was serious bot problems there before. I have the ability to approve of accounts. Lots of people do. But I check it every day right now. Not only that, but I created at least 6 default threads for every character so that everybody can start talking in there. Shuriken Wiki is up as well, so please check those out there. I put all of Sajam's character guides. He just finished them today, so
that's good.
Every page has that, and the official Capcom ones.
Nice.
And the 4 that you've made.
Cool.
So Capcom's only made like 4 or 5 as well, so they're rolling out. But I have the 4 that you made on there. I want to do one for Armika and for Cammy eventually at some point. But I just don't feel like I have the ability to do it right now. I want to play them a little bit more just so I have a more accurate video to do. But please check out the Shoryuken.com forums and wiki. Frame data is all up there. Eternal Star is doing a great job updating little information and stuff like that. So
he's a good one.
I've got my wiki crew helping me out here between really Eternal Star and Gilly, you know, and myself, and
that's really good.
Yeah, so we've got a nice little crew here going on for that. So
you know, part of the issue is that people are bringing back STSFN.
Oh, really?
They're saving it. Yeah.
Oh, it's because there's so much money involved now.
Exactly right. So now that there is like just a butt ton of money involved, it's even more important because it's not like you're down to win $50,
right?
Right, like you're gonna win a down payment on a house, right? Like you can buy a car. Like it's like
dude, when you say it that way,
it's like adult money. You know,
so STFN stands for Save That Stuff for Nationals.
You can say shit. It's okay, Jay.
Save that shit for Nationals. Save that shit for Nationals. There you go.
Anyway, yeah, it's like adult money. So you gotta. It kind of sucks, but I get why they would not want to share stuff.
Yeah, but I'm hoping that we do build these communities up again because in Street Fighter 4 it was so valuable. I spent every day on that Cammy forum. It was so much fun.
I was always in the Gief and Sim forums. I was always there. I
became really good friends with Steinmania through there, with Bakken from Seattle, with, unfortunately, with Jeff the Hero, you know, all sorts of Cammy players. And it was really cool. It was really cool. So hopefully that can come back. But back to Street Fighter 5
in
general. I love the game right now.
Same.
Like, to be honest with you, I kind of knew I was going to be biased. Like, I was just like, I know I'm going to like the game.
Yeah.
Right? Even before it came out, I was just like, I'm going to enjoy this game just from all the betas that we saw and all that stuff like that. I didn't think I would like it this much.
Okay.
To be honest with you, because I had my concerns. You know that we've talked about this even like off stream and stuff. I'm always like, all the characters look the same. I'm worried there's not going to be much to discover.
Right.
I had a lot of concerns about this game. I really did. A lot of things that people were saying about it, I felt were going to be true.
Okay.
And they're not.
Okay.
Like, I've seen some people, you know, just even as recently as like today or yesterday were like worried, like, are all the characters really just the same? Do they all just fight at the same distance? And after watching enough of these little tournaments, I mean, we've had like 90,000 tournaments in the first week, right? We've had so much footage, and just from us playing and everything, dude, the characters are really different. Like, the 16 characters that we have, the variety in them, I feel like is actually fairly substantial. And like some of the stuff that people are coming up with. Did you see that video that PR Rog tweeted out today of him versus Lamer Boyd's Rashid?
Yes.
Against PR Rog's Vega,
yes.
And then when he like got Vega into the corner. Well, I'm sorry, when PR Rog mistakenly put himself into the corner.
Is that what he said?
Well, he did. He tried to go for a cross-up at the very end and died because then Lamer Boy just went ham on him.
Yeah, that's cool.
Dude, he had some really awesome stuff going on there. But
so I have the sick combo with Bison that you do Fierce Flames into V trigger cancel into dash toward EX Flames, and he's doing it the wrong way. It's so sick.
It's like So
you can actually charge for his scissors after that, but you have to charge the other way.
Oh, and because he's still facing it? Oh, really? He hasn't turned around yet?
He doesn't turn around at all. But you have to, like, be, you know, charging away from where the opponent is, so you, like, juggle into scissors, but it's like...
So you're just holding the direction, and as soon as he stops, you just hit kick, and he scissors.
No, you still have to actually go forward and then he turns around and does scissors.
Oh, I wonder if you can wait long enough.
I tried.
To, oh,
and
you
maybe
did?
I
Okay,
got
okay,
it wrong,
okay,
but I tried.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah,
that
it was so
awesome.
sick. It was so sick. So I'm playing those two, Sim and Bison. I'm playing a lot of Ryu, who I think is really fun, especially in week 1 when I can hit people with stupid dungeon setups that are not going to last, but I am enjoying it.
You hit me when you're like, EX, I was like, I'm just going to block this.
Yeah.
Totally forgot.
Charge it up.
I totally forgot.
It's not going to work long term. It's pretty sick for now, but a very fun character in general.
I mean, that's why, like, when I play Cammy, I'm not doing hooligan shenanigans, because that's not going to work. That's not long-term life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, dude, standing jab blows up all those shenanigans that Cammy tries. So, you know, I'm going to try to learn to play your footsie style and everything like that, so. But yeah, but I mean, are you playing much Gief anymore?
I haven't been playing that much Gief, to be honest. Talk about Gief. Gief seems like he is on the lower end, Zangief. And I'm not sure that is a long-term thing. I feel like he has a higher ceiling than that.
He might be reverse grappler syndrome at some point.
Yeah, I think that's the case. Because I think we'll learn more about when you can use V-skill and how you should pressure. Look, everybody's trying, and I'm trying to do it too. It's not working. SPD dash up into mix-up.
Yeah,
everybody wants to do
sweep dash.
Sweep dash into mix-up.
You're negative.
You can't do it.
Yeah.
So, and that like feels frustrating. But I'm not sure that it matters that much because you can still do other things. You can still get a meaty stand fierce even after jab, pile driver, and if they press buttons or backdash, they get crush countered. Like there's still stuff that you can do. So I feel like we have to switch it up. But even once we do that and make all the adjustments, like is he gonna beat Chun-Li? Like probably not.
Right.
Probably not going to beat Chun-Li.
It's interesting because I was talking about this, and you know V Ryu from Europe, super smart player, one of the best Makotos of Street Fighter 4. You know, I mentioned on Twitter, I was like, I think Zangief he has the #1 potential to probably be a weak character. And V Ryu was like, dude, what are you talking about? When he gets up to you, he's like super scary. How could he possibly be weak? And the only reason why I honestly think he's going to be the weakest character is because I honestly feel like he's going to be the only character with maybe 4-6 matchups. Like it'll be Chun-Li, maybe Feng, maybe Dhalsim, maybe another character that'll just be really annoying that he can't buy. And that's probably going to be the worst it's going to get for him, but he's going to have the most out of everybody.
I can see that.
So I don't even think he's going to be a bad character.
No, nobody will be a bad character.
No one's going to be a bad. I mean, even like, so I played Feng, and I was like, I can't do anything to the stupid poison mist, which is why I actually went into training mode and tried to figure out things to do against that. And I thought I found some pretty decent solutions. So I was like, okay. And that's what it's going to take. Right now, it feels like Zangief is terrible, but we're going to find things that are going to make him better. I still like Zangief a lot. And it's just going to be those key matchups that are going to make him feel frustrating. But even stuff like that jumping forward into super, I don't think anybody's doing that.
I really like that.
I was doing that. That's how I was beating Tim's birdie. Because I had to play footsies with him, and then when he kicked, I would jump, and so the low strong would be too late. And then I could do 50% damage off of a jump attack, right? And that was the only way I could win. But you start learning these things, and so I feel like, you know, people are going to figure these things out. And, dude, a zero-frame super that combos on hit, you're going to find really dumb situations where it's going to work really well.
Yeah,
like, you know, for example, meaty knee. Like, if you hit someone with the knee into, like, stand short, you can combo it or whatever like that. But that's really hard to do.
Okay.
But stand short has what, like 5-frame startup or whatever like that. Super's gonna be a 1-frame startup.
Right.
So I'm sure people are gonna find all these dumb knee setups into super and hit confirm it and everything because it's a link. You know what I mean? So there's gonna be a lot of crazy things that Zangief's gonna find, in my opinion.
I think you're right.
Yeah. And speaking of grapplers, by the way, can I just take the time to say that I think there's 3.5 grapplers in this game. I don't know if Laura quite counts as a grappler.
Yeah. Do
you feel like she counts as a grappler?
I would say so.
Okay. Four grapplers in the game.
Who else? Mika,
Birdie, Zangief,
yeah.
Right? Dude, they are, like, in Street Fighter 4, there was, like, 6 grapplers, and they were all very similar.
That's
like,
true.
Sagat could beat them all by hitting stand roundhouse and throwing tiger shots, right? But I feel like that in this game, we have 4 of the most different styled grapplers that I can remember in a long time. In a Street Fighter game, I should say.
Yeah.
Because obviously games like KOF, you've got a bunch of different grapplers and such. Yeah. But I feel like this game, the grappler variety is really cool.
Yeah.
Because you got Zangief, who's the standard grappler. When I play Zangief, I feel like I'm playing a grappler.
He's like on the farthest end of like maximum grappler. If there's like a horizontal, right?
Right, exactly.
A line. He's like on the max grappler. He's like all the way in the top left of the chart.
Right. And then, you know, I had someone say to me, they're like, I really like grapplers. How do I play Birdie? Like, this will help me, like, patient. I was like, dude, Birdie is, like, the most turtly grappler I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have to attack. He's a grappler that makes you come to him. So, like, you know how Tager, when he has magnets, you know, you think about sucking. Dude, he just sucks you in by being there and throwing cans and bananas on the floor.
Yeah.
And then you try to get in, then he gets to dash up and command throw you. So
right.
He's like a reverse grappler. He doesn't have to come in. He makes you come into him so he can grapple.
So I wanted to play him like Q, because I felt the same thing, that he was a defensive grappler. And I really tried that, and maybe I didn't give it enough time, but it didn't seem to work as well as I wanted it to.
Because I don't see Q much as a defensive grappler.
Really? Oh, dude, he's the turtle.
Because you rush in with him a lot, right?
What?
You're always like trying to slap people and hit them, and so I don't see you.
Well, I mean, if I'm playing against you and it's Dudley, I can use slaps.
Yeah,
it's a little bit different.
True.
And like my stand strong, whatever, actually hits Dudley crouching. Like, it's,
okay.
There's a lot of stuff that I can do in that matchup.
Okay. Fair enough. But I mean, I do feel he's a little more defensive than Zangief. He's definitely not standard grappler at all.
No, I agree.
You know, I really like how Armika plays right now because she's very momentum based. She's basically the grappler who, because the thing about grapplers, it's always, hi, I have this SPD, it does a ton of damage. Hey, look, remember, what do we always say on stream? Your life is just your currency to spend getting. Like, I don't feel like that's Mika. She actually gets in and has to really do this momentum thing. You know what I mean? And her getting in is really different than most characters because she has something like that charge drop kick that's like super good, so good that it was right for them to make it not good.
Yeah, I hear you, yeah.
You know? Because if it was actually good and like beat things while launching, it would be broken.
Yeah.
Because when I first saw it, I was like, this is the best move they've ever given a grappler.
Yeah.
And it still kind of is in a weird way, but you know, that's why I did a whole video on how to make sure you can get in with her. So I think that's really cool. And then Laura, I guess, you know, if she's grappler status, it's more just kind of because she's got these good mixed ups, mixed rush down. She's even got a fireball. So I don't know. So I really like the grappler variety in this game. That's like one of my favorite things.
I hear you, man.
At this point, so.
You don't want to give me a 0.5 for invincible dash grab? Because that's basically what I'm doing 80% of the time.
All right, you know what? I'll give it a 0.25 because it's only your Bison right now.
Okay, fine.
It's only your Bison.
I've been playing, you know, a lot of good players online, trying to like get matched up and stuff. And after like the second or third game, and they like know what I'm doing, they start, you know, neutral jumping a lot, whatever. So I've taken to like dashing up and doing jump strong and just all sorts of total jerkery. It's fun.
It's like in your how to play Bison video, your summary.
And be a jerk.
Why do you want to play Bison? To be a jerk.
Yeah. As far as Gief goes, I think that Snake Eyes is farther ahead with Gief than anybody else is with any other character. I think he's like all the way at the top of being ahead. He's just much better than anybody. It's like not even close. Like, so I remember we were talking with Filipino champ who came down to Wednesday night fights. Beforehand, he was talking about how he thought that matchup was really bad, and you know, he was not saying it was like 9-1 or anything.
Right,
he was,
right.
You know, he was being more sober about it than that.
Right.
But then after he played
Snake Eyes.
This
was before Grand Finals. This was in casual.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He was talking about how
not even in Grand Finals, in Winners Finals, I should say, or winner side bracket.
Yeah. Well, anyway, he's saying maybe it's actually just a 6-4. You know, maybe it's nothing crazy. Maybe it's just a 6-4.
I mean, a lot of people are going to talk about Snake Eyes beating Filipino champ in the winners bracket of that tournament. I wouldn't put too much stock in it, to be honest with you, because you have to admit Champ just drove like 6 hours down from North.
For sure,
all that
dude.
Stuff.
Yeah.
He was like sleepy, whatever.
There's
like
no
that,
doubt.
So.
And on top of that, he said he had never played or seen a Gief like that. Like
right.
he didn't even know
exactly.
some of the things that Snake Eyes was doing were in the game.
Right. Right.
So you got to give him time to sit on it, and I'm sure he'll come back strong. Yeah. He always does. So we'll see what happens. But
yeah, but
that was cool. That was cool to see.
Kind of stemming off of this topic. I mean, we've seen a lot of different tournaments, a lot of results. What I find is actually kind of funny is that, there was always this thought process out there that all the Street Fighter 4 players who are good at Street Fighter 4, who are good at backdashing and focus attacking, oh boy, they're going to learn once Street Fighter 5 comes out that they're all of a sudden can't play the game anymore. And they're doing a lot of the winning right now.
Yeah, I don't think that's I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I mean, I said it to, because Jaha even said that. He was like, look at all these old school players getting blown up. And I was like, hey, people who are good at Street Fighter 4 are actually legit good at Street Fighter. Who'd have thunk?
So this goes back to my theory of numbers about scenes. So I'm never going to tell you that I think that a hockey player is the best athlete on earth, because there's like a million people who play hockey in the world.
Right.
It's pretty unlikely that the best athlete happened to play hockey. Right. Where there's a billion people playing soccer. Like, it's more likely that the best athlete is among there or from some other sport.
Right, okay, I see what you're saying. Right.
When it comes to, like, Street Fighter 4 scene, that scene was gigantic.
Okay.
And in order to win in that scene, you had to be super good.
Right.
Super good. If you were winning 50-person tournaments back in the day, maybe you were good, but it's not as likely that you were like super good. Okay, you know why I know that? Because that's me. I used to win tournaments, and I am, even if these things were doing all right, I would not be winning tournaments.
You don't think
today.
So? You actually don't think so?
No, majors, I do not think so.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, but you would. I mean, like, you would be at least gatekeeper status, right?
Maybe I would keep gates.
Right,
yeah.
Okay.
But that's about it.
Yeah, because, I mean, I always talk about, I used to be super good a long time ago. I make no pretensions that I'd be winning tournaments right now. I'd be a gatekeeper. That's 100% what I would be, so.
Yeah. Anyway, so people who are old school players and are used to doing really well back in the day, I do think that some of them are very talented and are, like, long-term super good players.
Right.
But I also think that some of them are probably used to the level of play how it was back in the day, and it's way higher.
Yeah, I mean,
nowadays.
like, I think back to it, like when I used to play CVS 1 and CVS 2, I used to always do well in those tournaments, right? The level of play that people are playing at right now is way beyond what we were doing back then, because you could get away with everything back then. You could save that shit for nationals. You didn't even have to save it for nationals. You saved that shit for your locals, and you can get away with stuff, because half the time you beat people, a lot of the times you were beating them because they just literally had never seen your stuff before. You know what I mean? Even right now, even today, 20 years later in Super Turbo, I beat a lot of people because they don't know how to fight Cammy.
Sure.
Like, you can't get away with that anymore. You know what I mean? That's just not going to happen anymore.
Yeah.
Because of the way that the level of play is. So.
Yeah. So I'm not surprised that Street Fighter 4 players would do well.
So Snake Eyes obviously winning a lot of the West Coast tournaments. He just won the Wednesday night fights that had almost 256 entrants in there.
Dang, did it?
Wow. I think they almost filled out that bracket. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's why it ran till 3 a.m. or
that's
whatever
insane.
like that. Yeah. And then he won undefeated, right? That just happened this weekend. And meanwhile on the East Coast we have Alucard, who has just been botting everybody with Nikali, and in fact, he's #1 on the SRK rankings right now because he's won a lot of tournaments.
Well deserved.
So so again, 2 players very good at Street Fighter 4, and obviously they've been playing fighting games before that, but that's kind of where they've kind of. Well, I mean, Alucard obviously has also made a name for himself in MK.
Sure,
as well.
sure. I mean, Snake Eyes won HDR at Evo.
Yeah. So, but
a lot of those old school players.
Again, both of those guys doing super good already, and I'm not surprised by it. I'm not surprised by it at all. I do think that, we'll get a bunch of new people in, and I do hope a lot of old school players do come back and really start making a mark in these tournaments. I really did like Graham Wolf's tweet that he sent out when he traveled up to the Wizard World Gaming thing. He was like, this is like the first time in 9 years I've traveled to a tournament.
That's cool.
And he was like, this is it's really like there was like you could almost see the tear rolling down his eye because he's like, you know, and this like legit, like, you know what I mean? It's not like let's just go to our friend's little 50-man gathering, right? This is a legit tournament because good people are gonna. Justin and Ricky and everybody was there, you know. So it's really cool to see. I do hope some old school players come by, but I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of those old school players who, you know, thought that they were the best, you know, like they're like these guys don't know anything, still get blown up.
I wouldn't be surprised either. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
There you go.
Well, I really like the game so far. I'm really looking forward to how it develops. I think it will be interesting and deep. Here's an example. V-reversal, right? So offense seemed really strong. Then everybody was doing alpha counters. Then already this is happening. People are starting to bait alpha counters with like low jab into throw. You can also option select against them. But then there's also this like option select invincible move / alpha counter / throw tech. So already there's like all this development going on.
I think I saw that.
It's going to end up as crazy as any game. You know, every game ends up crazy.
And you know, I know, look, bless Peter's soul. I know he said we're going to try to remove option selects as much as possible. I'm going to repeat this again for everyone. You can't get rid of option selects. It's option selects, like, people think that it's a part of the game system. And it's not. I've always said that at the core fundamental, an option select is people outsmarting the computer. It's outsmarting the programming, outsmarting the game.
And it's any program that has like this series of processes that you. That's all.
You can't stop it. You can't stop it. So
I mean, to be fair, they did limit them a lot. Media option selects are not as good, etc. But yeah, there's only so much you can do.
Right. One thing I will say though is I do love the V reversal system.
Agreed.
Because look, in the old games, when you got alpha countered, like, you froze. And so you were getting hit by the alpha counter. Like, you literally had, like, maybe one or two frames in which you were able to move. But otherwise, you were getting hit by that, like, for free, right? So now, the way that it has this kind of startup, and it's a little more smartly implemented, you can't just throw it out and get a free alpha counter. I really kind of like that. I really like the way the V-reversal system was implemented, that you can time it really badly. Because even like they were talking about like Cammy's V-reversal, someone said it's really good because it can't be thrown. It's airborne, right? So it's really good. But on block, it's -8, I think.
Oh, yeah.
So she's one of the characters that if you bait it out and block it, you can just destroy her.
Interesting, okay.
You know, so I don't know. It just feels like there's a lot of thought that was put into that system. And
I like how different they are. You know, all of them are very different from each other.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yay, I like the gameplay.
It's funny because we have some people even asking, what's an alpha counter?
Ooh.
So in Street Fighter Alpha, that was the first game where you could actually cancel your block into an attack.
Right.
And they were called alpha counters. Or in Japan, they were called zero counters because the game was called Street Fighter Zero in Japan. But that's basically what a V-reversal is. It's an alpha counter. It started from Street Fighter Alpha 1.
Right.
Where they were so broken. Oh, God, I hated alpha counters. Like, that's actually one of the main reasons why I like Alpha 3 more than Alpha 2 is just because Alpha 3's alpha counters are bad.
I can see that.
That's like one of the main reasons, so, yeah.
Okay. Alright, well, anything else to say about Street Fighter 5 so far?
I want to play it more. I haven't, like, I love the game this much, and I've literally only played, like, the night that I was at your place playing. And then I just played like 9 games of Army Online. That's like all I've played.
Oh, man.
I need to play this game more. I just haven't had a chance. But seriously, all of the matches that I've watched, it looks fast. And even the slow matches that were timeouts and everyone was complaining about it, like they were like super intense.
Fang matches and stuff.
Yeah. It was a Noel Brown versus Moons. Like it was Vega versus Bison.
Interesting.
Like neither of them were doing anything.
Right.
Like if you were playing Bison, you'd have dashed up and kicked them all day. Yeah. But you know they were playing like a lot of rounds timed out, and a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, this is so boring. I'm falling asleep."
Okay.
And I'm sitting there watching like the footsies are so good.
That's cool, man. Oh, I didn't see it. I gotta look that up.
So yeah. But I love the game so far, and I haven't even played it that much, so I'm really enjoying it.
Me too. Me too. Alrighty. Well, I'm going to take your implication that you think I'd be winning majors nowadays if I didn't have hand issues and go to break.
Sounds good. We'll be right back, guys.